Okay, so the next thing to do is obviously when you run it, click on admin. And this button, we would have to adjust it. So I don't want to bring it further down. I think it's placed nicely where it is. I just need to move it a little bit towards the right side. So I'm going to go to the part of the button right here. And then on the left alignment, I'm going to make it 250. So if I run it now, I would think that it should be basically aligned where I wanted it to be. And there it is, perfect. So for the result, I think I would also want to align this. Since it's not showing right now, I would want to move it like towards the center. So I'm gonna go like 200. Let's see how that's gonna look like when we put in the codes for the script. So now we're gonna go into the script, and what we're gonna do is in the script, we are going to be writing in the codes to create the function that I talked about, which is this function right here called the check admin function. And so that's going to take the username and password and check to see if it's valid or not. So we're going to go to the the script, sorry. So here we're going to start by putting in function. So we'll put the name of the function and it's basically check admin. Make sure you write the name properly as what you wrote in here in the admin page. So check underscore admin. That's what I wrote in here. So it's really important that you check that. And then we open curly brace, and now we are going to start by creating some constants, which is going to be user choice. One that's for the like user ID, that's for like the username. So you can say username, but try to make it a little bit different. So username 1 equal, and then you're going to get the username. So that's going to be document.getElementID username, which was the variable name that we actually named the username, which would be in this text box. And then we're going to do the same thing for password. So const password. I'm going to call it password1, and we're also getting the password as well using the same variable that we created in here for password. Okay, so we're going to check to see that those are correct. So we're going to definitely need an if statement. So you need to decide what the administrator password would be. Obviously, there would be a standard administrator password. So if username, we're going to say 1 is equal. I'm putting my administrator username as Alicia. And then I'm going to say, and the password is equal to, so password 1 is equal to, I'm going to say Alicia123 at. So that's like the password. If that's the case, then open curly brace. And then now you need to show saying authentication is valid. So we're going to do this document.getElementID again. You can just click it once it appears. And remember, we created this result paragraph that will show the text and say if the authentication is valid or not, which then opens another page. So we'll go back here and we'll do something as go to the JavaScript. So we'll open the page for the admin. So it's essentially supposed to open another page, which will be for administrators to select between what kind of data they would like to see, whether they would like to see the total bread baguette sizes that have been sold or type of bread that has been sold. So we're going to have like a form. We're going to be creating a form that actually would have all of this inputs that they can just select and see and check what they want to see. So we're going to go back here for now. We're just going to do the part of the authentication. And this is where we're going to be getting the ID, which is called the result. So we named it as result. And then, of course, we are going to say .inner HTML because we're getting it from the HTML page. So you can just click on that. And that's going to be equal to, you can do the message as you are logged in as an admin, or you can say authentication. I prefer to say authentication valid. So that's like they're valid. And then this is where we're just going to put this in here, but we don't have this page yet. So this is where we can open a new page. And so I'll just call this page admin access because we're going to have to create it .html. And then we're going to do the else of this, and else means if it's not verified, obviously that would be the, it's going to say authentication, sorry, invalid. So that's pretty much that for the JavaScript. Now we just have to run it and see that it works. Remember, we already connected the admin HTML page down here to JavaScript, so it's already connected to this JavaScript. So now we just have to run it. So I'm going to click the run button and click on admin. So it does take a while. There it is. It's running. Now we need to type in the username. So the username I got was Alicia. And the password I got was Alicia. So you can see that it's masked. This is the reason why we use the password type. Alicia123 at. Now, if I click that, okay, the page wasn't found. So I'm just this page does not exist. So what I'm gonna do, guys, and I forgot to put a semicolon, is I'm actually just gonna comment this out because it doesn't exist right now, but we are gonna create it. So I'm gonna run it again one more time because it didn't really show me the message. It just blinked and then it went to this page. So I'll do it again and I'll write Alicia. And then, of course, I'll write Alicia123 and then, of course, at. So the password's masked. So here it says authentication invalid. So I must have made a mistake somewhere. Let me try it again. Alicia23 and at. Oh, I'm making a mistake. Alicia123 and at. I said 23 instead, so authentication is valid, so that way it changes. However, this message is way at the bottom here, so I would like to take it. It's actually looking cool here, but I would like to take it in here. So you saw that when I logged in, essentially, if we create this admin access HTML page, what's going to happen is if you create it here, which you need to because you're going to be giving the administrator, so admin access HTML, you should create it there. And if you do, then you can go back to the script page and then you can just remove this because then it will just open a blank admin HTML page and it would have nothing. You can, of course, just put in the HTML tag, which would be just HTML. And of course the closing tag, it's not going to have anything. You can put the header, so the head tag, which obviously will have a head tag, and just put something in there and just say hello if you want, or put it as a paragraph. So yeah, if you wanted to do that, you can, but it's just going to have that in the page until you finish designing it, of course. And the message that I wanted this message to go a little bit up. So I'm going to go to the style of this admin page, which is actually, it was style, not style, sorry, the admin HTML page. And then here, the result, I took it all the way to 370. So I think we're going to take it like to, instead of 370, we can go at, since this one for the button has a top of 250, I guess we can go to like 300, so it's not too out of the screen. So I'm going to click on admin again and it's going to open for me now, and then we have to log in again. So here you can just take this to the side so it adjusts, and then Alicia, and then of course here we have to do the whole Alicia123 and then at, and then click login. So yeah, so this is opening for me this page. So admin access. Okay, one thing I did wrong was admin. I wrote it with a small a where it's a capital, whereas it's a capital here. So that's case it's quite sensitive. So rerun it again just to verify. And now it's gonna open for me the section. So type in Alicia again and type in my password, Alicia. I'm gonna repeat that. 123 and then at. Okay, so you see now it's working and you can see that the hello is showing. So that's authentication's valid. Now, if it's not valid, I'll click on admin. And also I'm going to show you a feature next time that actually clears the text box. So once you click on the button, it's just going to clear it. For example, I will put now the incorrect one and I shouldn't be granted access. I just put Alicia. So it says authentication invalid, so I can't get access to the page. And then what's going to happen is that I want it to clear the fields automatically when it's invalid. So that's what we're going to work on next time. But this is exactly the same steps that you're going to do for the user page. So the user HTML page is going to be exactly similar to the admin HTML page. You can pretty much just copy this code and paste it in. However, for the user page, once you copy the code from the admin page into HTML into the user page, you also have to create another style sheet for the user page. And so that you can put the background picture here that's not going to be admin, but will be user.png, which is this one. Users should know their login. They would be given by the shop if they're, because they can have the access rights to be able to place their orders online. So that kind of a thing. So they would know their username and password too. For now, you're just going to do an example by authenticating a general username and password for users from the shop that they can use to place their orders. And then, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to do something about the user. I will basically create another tutorial where we would have like a list of username and passwords. So when someone enters this, enter this username and password, we're going to check it through the list, and assuming that the shop does have registered users, so they all know their username and password, and only those users can have access to be able to place the orders on this app. So for now, we're going to stop here until we do the user page. And then if we have any more things that we need to change or to adjust, we're going to be doing that in our next video tutorial.